airline that knows Hawaii best. So come become Hawaii in the friendly skies.
Looking for a job is never easy. Finding one is harder for those who lack basic literacy skills. Today, 1 out of 8 American workers can't read beyond a 4th grade level. America's future depends on our workers having the best possible skills. This fall, ABC and PBS will present programs that explore literacy in the workforce and what it means for our future. Because we can no longer afford illiteracy in America.
It has never happened before. A live face-to-face dialogue between top members of Congress and officials of the Supreme Soviet. Join Peter Jennings as ABC News brings you the first of 3 historic exchanges, capital to capital, at Nightline time Tuesday.
A message from John Tyler Community College.
Starting an education is seldom easy. The first steps, the first days are the hardest. But look how far you can go.
John Tyler Community College is now holding registration. Call the registrar for details.
For a couple of years,
good night, hon.
Your mattress sags and sags.
Good night, hon.
Because it's not a beauty rest. Our unique barrel-shaped coils of high-carbon steel are pre-compressed to eliminate sag, to give you a firm, comfortable mattress that can't sag, so that your beauty rest
good night, hon.
Will stay as firm as the day you bought it. Beauty Rest by Simmons. Forever firm.
Now on sale at Richmond.
Looking for the best deal on a new luxury car? Your Nissan dealer's got it. With sensational year-end savings on all Stanzas and Maximas, we've got the best selection ever of quality-built Nissan cars, and we've got to move them fast. Come in now, and we'll sweeten the deal with factory incentives that could save you up to $700 on Stanzas or up to $900 on Maximas. Big selection, year-end savings, and factory incentives. Get the deal of a lifetime. Get big year-end savings at your Central Virginia Nissan dealers.
A possible football strike. I'm Teresa Lewis. We'll have that story coming up.
Coming up, now that Paul Tribble isn't running for the Senate, what is his next political step? Tensions heat up tonight in the Persian Gulf as a U.S. helicopter attacks an Iranian tanker. And a new battle is being waged against polio. We'll tell you about it in Eye on Health.
And even though the NFL is going on strike, there's a football team in Texas that's getting a little lift from the girls. Good evening or good morning. I'm Paula Alexander.
And I'm Mark Alexander. Our late edition of Eyewitness News is coming up.
From WXEX TV8, Virginia's news channel, this is Eyewitness News Nightcast.
So as of midnight tonight, the Players in the National Football League will be on strike once again.
And so it's official, the strike is on.
It sure is. It's not a good situation for anybody, not for the players, not for the team owners, and obviously not for the fans. Our Teresa Luce was out talking to some of them tonight.
Ken Sled is the consummate football fan. He'll watch the pros, college, even high school ball. It goes without saying he's dreading a strike.
Each player should be able to bargain individually for his own contract based upon his past ability and the potential which he and management feels he has. So I'm somewhat disgusted at the system.
At local bars, crowds gathered for one last football bash. When the strike was announced, there was little sympathy for players.
The greed factor is entering in a little too strong.
They're entertainers when it comes down to, let's entertain people.
Here's what players want. Free agency, meaning they can go to another team for more money. Guaranteed salaries, which means pay whether they make the team or not. Also, better pensions and larger rosters. So far, owners have said no to all of the above. The owners are saying that games will be played anyway, even if there is a strike. They'll find some people to play football. But the fans are saying they won't be watching. Most experts admit there are plenty of rookies out there who would be willing to play. But how many of the current players will cross picket lines? Former NFL player Willie Lanier says not many.
They would look at it as being somewhat risky to try to play with other players they have not trained with, who don't know the system as well as they do.
Speculation like this will be answered October 4th. That's when owners say they'll start up games again, no matter who's playing or who's watching. In Richmond, Teresa Luce, TV8 Eyewitness News.
More bad news tonight. Richmond police are asking for our help in finding a man who's been missing for a week. Bruce Hansen is in the security bonds business. He was about to make a deal for a lot of money when he turned up missing. Police don't think this is any coincidence. They say Hansen is a white man, 36 years old, 5'11", 165 pounds, with light brown hair and blue eyes. You won't see Senator Paul Tribble up for re-election next time around, but he might be a candidate for governor. At a news conference this morning, Tribble reinforced his reason for not going for the Senate again, saying that he's taken a lot of time away from his family. He also said that he would be active in politics in the future and doesn't rule out the job of governor.
It might be a position where I could see a lot more of my family, and there's a close proximity, and it's a kind of a position where you exercise more dominion over your day, and you set your own agenda, and you can establish your own priorities.
Tribble says he's been thinking about his decision for months, but made up his mind during a family vacation in August. Mark?
Your state government is looking at daycare tonight. A governor's council on daycare got down to work today. They're charged with studying the daycare rules in Virginia and coming up with some changes. They say they have their work cut out for them.
And indeed, I hope that we've got a lot of work to do to increase the amount of child care that exists, the kind of there are issues like sick child care that are going to be important, and what the reality is of people being able to afford child care.
Once the council comes up with some ideas, they'll tell them to the legislature in time for the 1988 session. 2 crewmen on board a Navy ship are pulling out of Norfolk are dead tonight. They were on the missile carrier Thomas Gates. Now, the Navy says it doesn't know what killed the men yet, but their bodies were found in a compartment in an out-of-the-way place on that ship.
Tonight, one of our military helicopters has attacked an Iranian ship in the Persian Gulf. The White House says the ship was in the process of laying underwater mines. Our attack set part of the ship on fire. It was put out, but it still left the ship dead in the water. Tonight's incident is the first American military action against Iran since August 8th. That's when the Navy fired at an Iranian jet that was thought to be hostile. This latest incident was outside an area where a British tanker was attacked earlier Monday by Iranian gunboats. 2 crew members are reported missing. The move took place at about the same time Iraqi planes were bombing targets inside Iran.
In the Iran-Iraq war itself tonight, Iraq says it blew up an oil station just outside of Tehran. The Iranians have admitted some kind of industrial target was struck in that area, but they aren't saying what. The Iraqis say they blew up the oil pumping station and a factory and a power plant. At the UN today, President Reagan confronted the Iranians. He told them they have 24 hours to accept the ceasefire the UN has been calling for. Otherwise, he says, enforcement measures will have to be taken, and those measures could include economic sanctions.
Democratic presidential hopeful Joseph Biden's plagiarism at Syracuse University Law School leaked out after the former law school dean discussed it at a dinner earlier this month. Now, that's what the Legal Times of Washington is reporting, but the dean is denying that he mentioned anything specific about Biden's past. He also says he doesn't believe that there is any flaw in Biden's character. Biden says opponents are spreading stories to embarrass him during the confirmation hearings of Robert Bork. U.S. Representative Richard Gebhardt is denying reports that his aides are doing that spreading. As far as Bork's nomination to the Supreme Court is going, it's running into more problems. Civil rights leaders urged the Senate today to reject the nomination. Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young attacked Bork as a protector of privilege and power rather than opportunity and freedom.
A grand jury looking into Jim Baker's days at the PTL Club is meeting down in Charlotte tonight, and the first witness to testify today was Jessica Hahn. She's the woman Jim Baker had a little sexual encounter with a few years ago. Whatever she said today, it wasn't enough because she will be back in front of that grand jury tomorrow. Paula?
Well, there's a tropical storm floating off to our southeast tonight that's just been upgraded to a hurricane.
It sure has. Jackie Kelling will track it and our weather next.
Our sons-in-law, the automobile salesmen, have promised us a trip to Florida. Right, girls?
Right.
The boys are ready to make some ridiculous deals on Volkswagen, Subarus, and Yugos. Right, girls?
Right.
So come by Hawthorne and help the boys out, won't you?
Come by Hawthorne, register to win a free trip, and we'll send anyone you like.
or your mother-in-law to Florida.
Are we ready to blow this town, girls? Yeah!
Every 3,000 miles, you can change your oil yourself, leave your car at the dealer, spend all day at the service station, or drive into Jiffy Lube with no appointment. In 10 minutes, the J-Team will change your oil with Pennzoil, replace the filter, lube the chassis, fill the important fluids, 14 quality services. Jiffy Lube turns an all-day oil change into a 10-minute family reunion. Welcome to Jiffy Lube.
4 convenient locations in Richmond and 1 in Colonial Heights to serve you. A message from John Tyler Community College.
Starting an education is seldom easy. The first steps, the first days are the hardest. But look how far you can go.
John Tyler Community College is now holding registration. Call the registrar for details.
What do you think your can-do GMC truck dealer would say if you walked in and said,
I want an all-new GMC pickup truck, a quiet-riding truck with remarkable aerodynamics?
Well, he'd answer, can-do Sierra.
And what if I insisted on a rear-wheel anti-lock braking system, plus a big 4x8 truck bed?
He'd say, can-do Sierra. Even if you demanded air conditioning at no extra charge, he'd say, can-do Sierra. So there's really only one thing you can do. See your can-do GMC truck dealer today.
Well, here's Jackie Kelling, who by popular vote is the most awake of anyone on set tonight.
You're doing real well tonight.
Well, thank you. I guess when you stay busy, you don't realize that you're tired, but there is a lot to talk about, too. We've got a lot going on in weather. Not so much here, but as tonight begins, we have a new hurricane to talk about. And this one's down toward the Caribbean. It was a tropical storm for a few days, but now she became a hurricane. That means her winds in the center are 75 miles per hour at a consistent speed. So let's go to the satellite map, and I'll show you what Hurricane Emily now looks like. And there she is right in the center of the map. And she's not a very strong hurricane, but she is expected to strengthen over the next couple of days. Now you can see where you are. Here's South America, and here, of course, is Miami in Florida. Here's a few additional helps. San Juan, Puerto Rico, this little island here. Haiti and Dominican Republic are here, and there's Cuba. Now, Hurricane Emily basically is moving to the northwest around 20 miles per hour. At this moment, she is about 450 miles from Puerto Rico, but they are putting out hurricane advisories throughout the whole area. The strongest part of the hurricane is always on the northwest corner, and that's right toward the islands. It could be a dangerous situation, especially if she decides to strengthen, which is very possible. We will keep an eye on her as she moves toward the Gulf of Mexico. Now, what does it look like across the nation for us? You can see a map here where it's basically clear across the nation. Not too much going on. We did have a lot of storm activity around the Great Lakes. That has dissipated. And you can see hurricane right there. There she is down there. Now, we've got a weak stationary front to the south and a weak low pressure to the north. That's not causing too much activity, and we did have a gorgeous day, so it's really not too shabby out there despite what's going on around us. Also, we've got a huge high pressure cell out in the west that's going to pump down some really nice, cool weather for the next couple of days. Now, closer up to the Richmond area, we do have a few clouds overhead. Now, most of the rain, though, involved with these clouds are to our north. There's a chance we could see a shower out of these the next day or two, but it's a real hit-and-miss type activity. Right now in the Richmond area, we have temperatures about 64 degrees, so it is cooling down, and we could very well see some fog by tomorrow morning. Here's the complete forecast now for tonight. Clear skies, light winds, a bit cooler, mid to upper 50s. Then tomorrow, partly sunny skies, hit and miss, possibly afternoon showers, mid to upper 70s. Tomorrow night, clearing skies, northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And it's going to be chilly, low to mid 50s. The extended outlook, Wednesday, beautiful sunshine, 77 to Thursday, partly cloudy, 78, but Friday and Saturday is a different story, where we fight the chance of thunder showers again and temperatures in the mid-70s. So.
We're getting used to that.
Yes, it's about the 4th weekend in a row if it does occur.
It really is. Okay, well, thanks. Well, next, an eye on health. An old foe is coming back, polio.
Polio, that's right. It's haunting some of the same people who have already faced it.
Steve Crowley, how charitable are you? Well, coming up, I'll talk about a new change in the tax law that affects the way we give to charity.
How's business? Just great. I'm Steve Baird, owner of Capital Truck Center. We're setting sales records with those popular GMC trucks. Capital's got a huge inventory of trucks people want. GMC's for work or play, equipped the way you want them. High volume lets Capital offer you big discounts and trade allowances. Save even more with GM's big one. $1,000 rebates on S-Jimmys and selected S15 pickups. Plus, many GMCs offer free air conditioning. Save at Capital, I-64 at 9 Mile Road. Capital Truck Center, where the truck experts and we care.
Mom! When disaster strikes, what kids need is a great big hug and a squeeze of Mediquick antibiotic ointment. Mediquick has 3 antibiotics. Mediquick, for quick protection against infection.
When you hurt, turn on the heat. There's no beating deep heating. For soothing warmth, penetrating relief of minor arthritis, pain, and stiffness, turn on the heat. Mentholatum Deep Heating Rub. There's no beating deep heating.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Strayhorn. Coming up in sports, you guessed it, we'll talk about the NFL strike. We'll hear from Gene Upshaw, the president of the Players Union, and Jack Dunlin, the chief negotiator for the owners. All that, plus baseball and more, coming up.
What do you think your Can-Do GMC truck dealer would say if you walked in and said,
I want an all-new GMC pickup truck, a quiet riding truck with remarkable aerodynamics.
Well, he'd answer, Can-Do Sierra.
And what if I insisted on a rear-wheel anti-lock braking system, plus a big 4x8 truck bed?
He'd say, Can-Do Sierra. Even if you demanded air conditioning at no extra charge, he'd say, Can-Do Sierra. So there's really only one thing you can do. See your Can-Do GMC truck dealer today.
Hi, I'm Will Schreiner, and I'm excited to be traveling around the country showing folks my new talk show. Did somebody here order the Will Schreiner Show? Hi, excuse me, you don't need double coupons to watch the Will Schreiner Show. Will Schreiner Show. Hi, excuse me, can I show you a little of the Will Schreiner Show?
Oh, that's a great line.
My new talk show is going to have information, celebrities, and lots of fun.
Is that your real hair color?
No, it's rented.
The Will Schreiner Show, where the information is entertaining.
Weekdays at 9 on TV8.
In the 80s, we tend to think of measles and polio as diseases we were protected against as children. But for some, the nightmare is beginning again. Tonight, I begin a 3-part look at some problems and research toward a cure for polio.
It's difficult because you thought the war was won and over. But the battle, the new battle, has just begun.
The war began early in life for Rita. By her own account, she adjusted well to leg braces, wheelchairs, and lack of arm coordination. This is what polio did, and it was understood. But the recent fatigue and muscle aches over 30 years after her polio attack are new and frightening. Rita is one of many polio survivors suffering from what is called post-polio syndrome.
The emotional stress that goes along with the knowledge that you're losing what you fought so hard to gain is almost devastating, especially if you don't know what's going on and you don't know where to find out.
Neurologists are studying polio victims who are now complaining of similar symptoms.
Generally speaking, those individuals that were 10 years of age or older are the ones that are having trouble now. In addition, they tended to have the more severe case of polio.
I was afraid I was dying, really.
Barbara rebounded quickly following an early short bout with polio, but recently she was forced to quit her nursing job because of extreme fatigue, insomnia, and breathing problems.
I had no experience with PPS, this post-polio syndrome. I had never heard of it.
Yeah. The recurrence of polio symptoms in some who previously suffered from the disease has caused major concern in the medical community. Tomorrow, we'll see how doctors are searching for some answers. Well, doctors are pleased but still cautious about the progress of the West German Siamese twins. They were separated 2 weeks ago in Baltimore, but doctors say their chances of survival are still uncertain. They suffered a partial collapse of one lung over the weekend, but doctors say their condition is better.
More health news. The Reagan administration seems less convinced than a lot of people that more research needs to be done on AIDS tonight. The administration has come out against a bill that would set aside $400 million to find a cure for AIDS. The president wants to spend only $90 million. Well, the Pope has packed his bags and gone home, but there's new tax law affecting religions that is here to stay. Here's our money editor, Steve Crowley, with more about it.
From strictly an income tax point of view, there's not as much to sing about anymore. Contributions to our church or synagogue were legal tax deductions for all of us last year. But Congress gives and Congress takes away.
Those of us who donate but don't have enough total deductions to itemize won't get the tax break for 1987 and beyond. Financial planner Ron Kovac is a church elder who keeps track of donations. He hasn't noticed a drop-off in giving yet.
They'll have more money to give under the new law with the lower bracket installed.
Ron and Lois Abbey do itemize, but lower tax rates mean their donations won't cut their taxes as much. It doesn't matter to them.
The first part, the first tenth of the paycheck goes to God. He's told us that that's what he requires of us.
Keeping records of those religious donations is as important as keeping all our other tax records. We need to be ready if we get called before one of the highest powers on earth, the IRS. The Abbeys get a quarterly statement from their church listing their donations. And we should all keep receipts. Resist the urge to put cash in the collection plate. Write a check. It's the only way to have proof. And when we give any kind of property, like clothes or furniture, to a qualified charity, ask for a letter verifying the donation. We'll have to set a fair cash value. If our gift of property is worth over $500, we have to file a Form 8283 with our 1040. If it's worth more than $5,000, we need a full appraisal. One smart thing to do when we give to charities all the time, we can try to group our donations in the year we plan to itemize. This is called bunching deductions, and it's a legal tax trick. We can write checks for our 87 and 88 donations all in 1987. Try to boost our itemized deductions. So keep records faithfully. And if you'd like to learn more about getting tax breaks from all your donations, just write me here at the station, and please send me your self-addressed stamped envelope. Steve Crowley, TV8 Eyewitness News Nightcast.
And Mr. Crowley's address, as always, 21 Buford Road, Richmond, Virginia, 23235. I'm getting to say that so fast I sound like an auctioneer.
You could do it backwards.
Probably could.
Well, coming up in sports, more on Major League Baseball.
And, of course, more on, guess what, the football strike.
Some supermarkets will do anything to make you think they have lower prices, like running a price comparison on a few very selected items. But the only true price comparison is on complete categories of groceries, cereals, detergents, baking goods, and so on. Because only a price comparison on thousands of items like these tells you which supermarket saves you money on groceries. As far as price comparisons like these, well, it's what they're not advertising that's going to cost you money.
It's Operation Clean Sweep this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday only at Richmond Honda and Cavalier Hyundai. Sweeping out all 1987 Cavalier Hyundai XLs, Richmond Honda Civics and Accords, new cars, company cars, demonstrators, official Crestar Classic show cars at clean sweep prices and special reduced payment financing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Richmond Honda and Cavalier Hyundai. Operation Clean Sweep on 87s, side by side under the big flag at 7400 and 7450 on the Midlothian Motor Mile. Don't miss this once-a-year sales event.
What won't cost you a cent but will save you a fortune? The Window Wizard's free catalog. Big savings on Anderson windows, bays and bows, entrance doors, kitchens and building materials. Window Wizards beats any advertised price. Shop at home and get delivery. Call today for your free Window Wizards catalog. 1-800-922-8060. That's 1-800-922-8060. Why pay more?
All my life, I've been waiting. Today there'll be no hesitating, no Buick. Your luxury, oh Buick. The world will see that you were meant for me.
The big one is back. Buick announces 1.9 APR financing or up to $1,000 cash back on most new 1987 Buicks. But don't hesitate. See your Buick dealer today.
Oh Buick, I've seen the light. I'm gonna drive my Buick tonight.
Well, in the story Teresa Luce did earlier, it seemed like a lot of the fans aren't that sympathetic toward the players.
Oh, no. As people, we have a tendency not to be sympathetic towards those that we feel like do much better than we do. And this is
financially
the case once again.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Financially
and otherwise. This is exactly right. And we have that case once again. I think that's just a normal human kind of reaction, you know. Yeah. Those fat guys up there making all that money going on strike. Before tonight's Jets-Patriot game, NFL players had received their picket signs, but no official word to strike. It came tonight.
It looks like it's going to take a strike to get the owners of the National Football League to negotiate with the players in good faith. So as of midnight tonight, the Players in the National Football League will be on strike once again, and that's really, really sad. Players have already, in many cities, have cleaned their lockers and then will be in the next couple of days cleaning their lockers because they realize that we've been forced into this action.
Representing the NFL owners, Jack Dunlan also made an appearance on the Monday night game tonight. The two sides are as far apart as ever. The owners like the current system.
We have proposed this time to improve, to liberalize that system. We've also proposed improvements in the pension plan, in the disability plan. We've proposed improvements in the insurance, the medical, the dental, and the health, injury protection, the preseason, postseason pay, and many other types of things.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers plan to open training camp Wednesday in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. That franchise is said to have about 35 free agents ready to start practicing. Head coach Chuck Noll said he would welcome strike breakers to his two-day workouts. The NFL will try to restart the season October 4th. On the Monday night game tonight, the New York Jets played host to the New England Patriots. They got together in the Jersey Meadowlands. 3rd and 23, Al Toon, the big wide receiver, caught that one. It was 13-3. Jets had the lead at that time. Well, not very much went right for New England. Tony Collins on the fumble. Russell Carter would get the recovery, and all of a sudden the Jets were back in business once again. Johnny Hector had a great night for the Jets. Watch him sweep right through there. Yes, into the end zone. He would get 4 touchdowns on the night. That made it 20-3. Hector once again would get the ball, but this time he would fumble. Andre Tippett would pick it up for New England, go all the way in for the score. It was 20-10, but this was not a good night for New England. That's Hector again. The final, Jets 43, Patriots 24. Once again, the Associated Press has released its college football poll. On top of the list is Oklahoma. The Sooners received 53 of the 60 first-place votes. Nebraska is number 2, followed by Auburn, LSU, Miami of Florida, Florida State, and Ohio State. Notre Dame, a good football team this year, and my choice to be the final number 1 team in the country. Clemson and Arkansas finished the top 10. In Chicago this afternoon, the New York Mets and the Cubbies got together. It was a one-sided affair. Keith Hernandez would knock in the run there. That's Dwight Gooden. He would help his own cause on the afternoon. The rains came, but really that didn't matter. Let's go to the scoreboard to get the final. New York was a 7-1 win over Chicago. It was Pittsburgh 5, Montreal 2. St. Louis was a 3-1 win over Philadelphia. The Chicago Cubs will be without manager Frank Lou Casey for a few days. You see, he'll take those days off because of an incident that he had with umpire Joe West. Lou Casey bumped the umpire during an argument, and that's a no-no. Lou Casey was also said to be fined an undisclosed amount of cash. On the American League scoreboard now, Toronto was a 2-1 winner over Baltimore. It was Boston 9, Detroit 4. Cleveland beat Oakland 6-3. New York, Milwaukee was called because of rain. While the NFL is having problems with free agency, so is Major League Baseball. An arbitrator ruled today that the owners had conspired to destroy free agency in 1985. In a 16-page decision, he wrote that their action violated the collective bargaining agreement. Hearings on how to deal with that collusion ruling will start next week, so we'll have to see. It will have implications on more than just baseball, which is one of the things that the football players are talking about right now.
Yeah, you know, I do feel sorry for the little guys, so like the hot dog vendors and some of those folks who are losing money.
People depend on that for a living.
They really do. That's hard.
Well, the pros are staying off the football field, as we've told you, literally all night long. But when we come back, we will tell you who is very eager to get out on it in Texas.
The Van Patten family loves their cars.
And they trust us to take care of them.
Every 3,000 miles, we bring them to Jiffy Lube. They change the oil with Pennzoil, replace the filter, lube the chassis, fill the important fluids.
Check the air filter and wiper blades. Inflate the tires. Vacuum the interior.
And wash the windows.
14 quality services in 10 minutes and with no appointment.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube.
4 convenient locations in Richmond and 1 in Colonial Heights to serve you.
Haynes & Seeley, the world's largest manufacturer of premium bedding, have just revolutionized the way we sleep. Together we've invented Posturelux, the most technologically advanced and sleepable bedding in the hemisphere. We're introducing Posturelux at over 50% off. And we're taking our remaining Posturepedics, and they're more than 50% off too. So help us out of the squeeze. Both are over 50% off this week at Haynes Restroom. See your newspaper for details.
It's a new world at the 1987 State Fair of Virginia. 11 exciting days and nights from September 24th through October 4th. Pay one price and enjoy all of the events and attractions, including Jerry Clower, Helen Cornelius, Ronnie Prophet, and the Four Tops. There will be featured shows such as Coke on Ice, the Newlywed Game, the Hannaford Family Circus, daily parades, and horse shows. And don't forget the thrilling rides on the fair's ever-popular Midway. So come on out to a new world at the State Fair of Virginia, starting on Thursday, September 24th.
Want to go for a spin?
I'm a wheel watcher. I'm a wheel watcher. Every day. I love to play. I'm a wheel watcher. I'm a wheel watcher. Become one now. I'm a wheel watcher. Fun to win.
Okay, well, here's Jackie with one more little reminder about what everything is going to look like out there at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. in the morning.
Always
It's really
have
pretty
trouble
good. That's,
remembering
what,
that
about 7 hours from now, so we'll have clear skies. There, we can see it. It'll be sunny. It won't be flashing. It'll be sunny at 65 tomorrow morning. There may be a little haze in the area, but it's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. There is a chance for rain later in the week, but as for tomorrow and the next couple days, it'll be nice.
We're safe for a while.
That's right.
I think that flashing was to kind of keep us awake, like strobe lights
I
or
hate to
something.
tell you guys this, but I think the flashing only happens on our monitors, so
Maybe they
everybody's
didn't see
wondering
it out
what
there.
the heck we're talking about.
It was to keep us awake anyway. Well, it has been a history-making day at a middle school in Fort Worth, Texas. 2 girls are now on the football team at Dunbar School. They had to get permission from the school board to go out for the team. The girls did it because they simply want to play ball. The coach says that he supports them all the way, and he's a smart guy because the school really made history today when it won its first game 13-0 against a team it hasn't beaten in 5 years. So there.
Well, here. Thanks for being with us. Get some sleep. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
News can happen any place at any time. When you see news happening, call Newsline 8 at 320-4444.